The Samsung A55, an Apple user's perspective. Now for my case, in Singapore I guess, the A55 comes with this sticker and the serial numbers on it, the model numbers on it, and it says keep that sticker intact. So that's the reason why I have this sticker on my A55. Well, it's been 2 years now and I'm still using an Android phone. Several of them in fact, including this A52s 5G, as well as an Oppo A76, which I'm using also for different purposes. The Samsung A55 is my newest Android phone and the one I'll be talking about today. But my old A52s 5G still works great, and I will continue to be using this phone as my drone controller screen and also my out at sea camera. The Samsung A52 all through to A55 have excellent built-in cameras. I have been waiting for this A55 with great anticipation for some time now, as an upgrade to my A52. And why not? Both these phones combined are still cheaper than a top-of-the-line iPhone Pro Max, or any iPhone that's going to meet my storage and camera requirements. I could have held out a little longer, I think, for the A56, for example, next year. But I have caused a lot of wear and tear to my A52 over the last 2 years, kayaking, paddleboarding, and longboarding. In fact, this is the primary reason why I switched over to Android in the first place. My iPhone fell into the ocean on a boating adventure, and after that, if you think I'm going to be wearing another $2,000 phone around my neck to go boating, you're mistaken. And I do boat a lot. As we all know, the Samsung S series phones are just as capable of being just as expensive as any iPhone. However, the A series has really broken through this time. With Gorilla Glass Victus, Corning's strongest glass currently, and a steel housing, this phone feels and looks great, like a premium phone would. The A55 is not a cheap phone, especially if you opt for the 256GB option at $520. And for the price, I'm telling you, this phone packs a lot of technology. You can add an additional 1TB of storage via SD card, and that's a lot. This is compared to the Google Pixel ecosystem, which gives you very little internal storage, and they rely on getting you to subscribe to their cloud storage options. iPhones also are not expandable for the storage. They also rely on subscription-based cloud storage, or if you want to max out on the internal storage, it's going to cost you a kidney. So then what about my iOS apps and integration of macOS? Well, for that I have an iPad, like so. I'm going to just charge it because I'm going to head out after this. And for desktop applications, I have a MacBook Air. The A55 plus an iPad is still cheaper than an iPhone Pro Max. And a phone camera really isn't a GoPro or a drone or a serious telephoto camera for shooting wildlife. It's fantastic for all other purposes, I will admit. Phone cameras have really taken leaps and bounds in technology. Make no mistake, I love the iPhone for all the years that I've used them, but for my current lifestyle, it just doesn't jive with paddleboarding out into the ocean, falling into the ocean, capsizing occasionally on my kayak, or longboarding, which, as we know, is a slightly high-risk activity. But if you want an all-in-one device, I'd say get an iPhone, just don't lose it, or the new Samsung S24. Thus far, I've been talking about the iPhone, the Samsung A and S series phones, Google Pixel, as if these are the only phones in the iOS and Android ecosystems that you can get. Of course, they are not. Sure, there are cheaper options that you might recommend, and you might even say they perform better on paper. However, in real-world use, I can tell you, not all phones are compatible with apps that work with or come with your favorite auxiliary devices, such as DJI drones, action cameras, gimbals, and submersibles. That's something to think about if you're a power user. The camera on the A55 is as good as it gets for a mobile phone camera. There's no need, I feel, to split hairs on a sensor so small. The quality of images and videos have improved in phones despite the small sensor by leaps and bounds. 4K video is available at 30 frames per second on the A55. 1080p allows you to get as high as 60 frames per second. Super slow-mo will give you 480 frames per second at 720p. Regular 1080p slow-mo is available on both the main camera and the selfie camera, which is excellent. Low light performance is vastly improved, making this phone camera that much more versatile. I can't give a full opinion about the value of this phone without mentioning these amazing Galaxy Earbuds Fan Edition. For a limited time, these earbuds come with your purchase of a Samsung A55. It doesn't come with the A35. At this price point, adding insult to injury, I also get a 25-watt USB-C power adapter, and I don't think you get that with the new iPhones these days. Now, okay, I didn't know that active noise cancelling is only available on the professional line of Apple AirPods. So the regular Apple AirPods don't have ANC. For more serious listening, I would use Bang & Olufsen, AKG, maybe a Sony every now and then, Bayer Dynamic, and Sennheiser. To give out active noise cancelling earbuds as a gift for a mid-range $520 phone, that's just gangster. They sound great. They pair up fantastic with this premium looking A55 mobile phone. I couldn't be happier with this purchase. It's a tough one to beat. That brings me to the voice controls. By default, when you press and hold on either side of the touch controls, it toggles active noise cancelling on and off. But you can program any one side to also trigger voice controls instead. And that's just gorgeous. I'm loving the user experience of these earbuds, paired up with the Samsung A55. Recently, the US Department of Justice announced that it would be taking action against Apple for antitrust violations. And I understand that Facebook, Apple, TikTok are making a lot of money. And there's quite a bit of "we want some of your billions" going on, I think. Even these earbuds by Samsung are sort of doing the same thing. They don't work very well with Apple devices. I sure wished corporations played better with each other for the benefit of consumers. It's a fine balance between fair competition and trade secrets, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.